Thank you. My name is Dr. Muguna. Actually, we are the mamamboga in this sector. Mamamboga means this is the person that is in the interior. This is the person that is knowledgeable of the local situations in our situations here. We are selling fuel to the interior. The government regularized the bonda sector and they brought them inside. So the bonda sector is assisting. So these are the people, these are the players who found that even in the interior where there is no tarmac, we can have a single pump to reach those people in the interior. Now we are calling for protection from the government now. The government to protect these small players from the multinationals, just the way they are protecting the small churches. You know, there was a time there were the mainstream churches only, but somehow the government recognized even the small ministries that are coming and they are reaching people spiritually. So to us, we are reaching our people in the interior. We are making sure now everybody, the bonda, everybody can get fuel. Now we pray and we ask the government to protect us even as we reach those people. We employ people there. We reach the portion mill, and it will be actually ridiculous for a bonda to come all the way 20 kilometers in the interior to come and fuel in a big town like this where we have multinationals. So we request that our government take us, recognize us in the EPRA board, recognize that we are players there and we are assisting, just the way initially we are under the multinationals, having the breweries and they were under those major players. Now there's even the local brew and those other things, and the government is protecting everybody. We are legal in business. We are having all these certificates and licenses. Now we request that we are recognized as legal players and we are protected so as to get something and to have service provision to those other local people. Otherwise, there are so many licenses, and that's why we are requesting they be in one house. Even if there are 20 licenses, we need to be considered. Somebody goes for 3-4 months without profit, and you look for money elsewhere to pay your employees. So that's why we're asking for government now to protect us. All those that are making laws in the parliament and elsewhere, they see to it that the important players are here and they are all protected.
Would you also be willing to participate in helping Kenyans?
As much as possible, depending on our ability, we can come together. You know, we have the major banks and we have circles reaching these other people down there. So we can be there and we can organize ourselves. We can consolidate ourselves and make one big player. So we are ready.
As fuel dealers, we want to say that we are like the ones that are carrying the economy of the country. And there is a lot of taxation of fuel, as you all know. And today we want to bring the odds that we've been going through, even as the government has removed the subsidy on the fuel, which is a very good move for us, the marketers. In our market chain, we are the last people in the market chain because fuel will come in the country and then we buy from the oil marketers and then we come and distribute it as retailers to the final consumer. For the last 2 years, we've been going through hard times as the dealers because we have had a situation where our margins have been eaten by the oil marketers. We have a body that is called EPRA that is supposed to regulate the prices of fuel. And every 14th of every month we receive the prices that we should sell at on the retail level. On the same point, we also have a cap on the wholesale. But for the last a year and something, this has been thrown out of the window. We never have any wholesale cap. So we found ourselves in a position where we cannot be able to plan for our businesses. On 14th, we will be given the prices, whether the price is going up or the price is going down or the price is staying constant. But when we go to buy our fuel, there is no cap on how the seller should sell to us. So you have a situation where you're supposed maybe to sell fuel at 170, and then you go and buy fuel at 169 or 168. You put transport, you are paying the rent, you are paying the employees, and this we have been waiting every cycle. We think things will be good. In the beginning they start well, by the end of the cycle we are making losses and losses. And if research is done, in our midst so many people have closed their business. And therefore we would want to request that the wholesale cap be returned, because this thing is killing our business every day. We are also requesting on the subsidies money. Before we used to have a lot of players in the market, the oil marketing companies that are importing the oil, and therefore there used to be competition. Today there's no competition. We have very few people that are able to have the cash to bring in the fuel. Most of the cash of the small marketers is held up in the subsidies money, and therefore we don't have competition. We really have to push for the few companies that you bring. And you find sometimes they will say that they are not selling to the non-franchised dealers. So they are just selling to their stations. And now we have to buy at the price that they ascribe, or we have so many stockouts. I want to remind us that the independent dealers make about 60% of the retailers of fuel in this country. So if we shut down, it means the economy will go slow, and the big companies cannot be able to supply the fuel in the country. It was designed that National Oil would be bringing fuel for us, which is not happening today. And therefore our request is that the government to pay the monies they owe, the pending bills they owe for the small oil marketers, so that we go where we had competition. We also want to talk about the taxation system on fuel. Fuel being a high turnover business, the taxman is looking at the cash flows, and sometimes the monies they ask from fuel dealers is unthinkable. And we want to ask that the government should give us people that are conversant with our market. The way we have agricultural extension officers, or we have health practitioners who are specialized in a particular line. We want people in KRA who know our issues and how the fuel industry works. Because you find, because this is a controlled market, you did your returns 3 years ago. After 3 years, our officer comes and says, your markup according to the market is this, your turnover is this. They do a markup and then they ask you for 8%, which is not realistic when you come to the ground. So we are asking that we have someone who is specifically dealing with fuel, so that they can be able to understand exactly what we go through. We also want to ask this, government, because you need money from us. We are the business people that churn the taxes for you. We want to ask for tax education, because us being business people, how much education do we have on tax? We will rely on accountants, and sometimes there are so many cartels between the KRA officers and the accountants that we have. We are asking that we be given tax education. Right now we are rolling out, we are getting into ETRs that are connected to the teams, which is good. But let's come to the issue of VAT, which we are asking the government to scrap from fuel. And if it does not scrap, let it put that 8% before I sell. Let it calculate before I sell, I pay before. Because 8% is input minus output. Now, the output that the taxman will expect me to get, if I bought 10,000 liters, they will calculate for me 10,000 liters. And anything that is liquid, you cannot get out what you brought in. Number two, when you get to the oil marketers, the pipeline, the EPRA have a way to calculate the losses on transit, spillages. They are facilitated for us. For us, we have those spillages, we have losses on transit, and nobody calculates for us. Because of lack of competition also, we have marketers who have cartels. You go with your tanker, you get fuel, you are buying 10,000 liters, you get less 100. And because of the few people that are selling, you have to still buy tomorrow. So you have lost 100 liters, 100 liters times 180 shillings, that is the market price today. You've lost that money before you start selling. And now when you come with your product, the taxman expects you to pay the 8% of fuel that you never got to your station. And then this taxman wants to mark you up with the margin that they expect to be the margin in the market, but they don't remember that you did not have a wholesale cap. And this thing is being followed after how long? It has been being followed after 3 years. So we are also requesting, because government, you're getting money from us, why don't we have somebody who is following our returns in a period that is shorter? Maybe 3 months after I do the returns, let this person come and say, you have not done well, you should do this and this, so that our system should not harass us. The canons of taxation, one of them is fairness and convenience. According to us, the oil dealers, we are not seeing as if our system is fair and it is not convenient. So we are asking that we have a task force that will look at our issues as oil dealers and listen to our issues and come up with the policies that are workable. We would also want to request in the EPRA, which is the regulatory body that we have somebody from the independent market who will understand our issues, because what we are having is that the information maybe the EPRA will get is from the big companies, the multinationals. They don't get the issues that we have on the ground, people with 1 pump, 2 pumps in the interiors. We would want a representation in the EPRA. We are also requesting about the licenses. The licenses for fuel dealers are just too many. If you want to put up a new station, it will take you almost a year. Now imagine you have borrowed money. This money you are paying, it's a loan. How do you survive almost a year trying to put up a business? I think it is good that we make ease of putting up business in our country. Cut.